Hello, and welcome to another Best Anime Recaps. Today, I'm going to give you a recap of the anime called Record of Ragnarok, specifically the first 3 matches. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. The tale begins by stating that the gods convene in Valhalla every 1,000 years to decide the fate of humanity. Another of these sessions is currently taking place to determine whether mankind is permitted to exist or not. They all agree that humans have devastated the planet's lands and seas, therefore they unanimously vote to do away with humanity. However, just before the sentence is given, one of the 13 Valkyrie demigods called Brunhild makes an offer to the gods. She recommends a new approach to the problem and suggests Ragnarok, a one-on-one fight between humans and gods. Each side chooses 13 champions, and if humanity wins 7 of the rounds, the gods grant mankind an additional 1,000 years to live. All of the gods laugh, given how much stronger they are than humans, but they eventually agree. Brunhild is mankind's ambassador, and she gets to pick 13 of the strongest individuals from the 7 million years of human history. The epic fight between humanity and Ragnarok gods will shortly commence. The game rules are straightforward. Humans and gods will battle till the death. Thor, the god of thunder and the strongest Norse god, is chosen in the opening round. Nonetheless, Brunhild remains confident in her human champion. She summons Lu Bu, a great Chinese warrior and unbeaten warrior of human history. The first round begins, and they each approach each other, unsure of how the other opponent will strike. Thor and Lu Bu have similar combat tactics, and both are renowned to be capable of defeating their opponents with a single strike. They both strike, and Thor utilizes the Thor hammer assault to counter Lu Bu's halberd. Thor immediately utilizes the almighty lightning power, tilting his entire body backwards. Lu Bu abruptly emerges from the fog after performing the attack, making everyone assume he was going to win, hurting Thor in the process. The gods are startled that a human weapon could even harm a god, but it turns out that prior to the fight, the 13 Valkyrie demigods all assembled to construct weapons for humanity's champions. The demigods actually transform into weapons for human warriors to wield against the gods. They are referred to as divine weapons. Lu Bu is deploying Randris, the 4th Valkyrie with the ability to break a god's armor. The heavenly weapon is then used to demolish Thor's glove armor. Thor then uses the gloves to lock his full strength and prevent himself from smashing his own hammer, and a pounding sound is heard from within the hammer. Thor becomes more serious after removing his gloves, as he throws the hammer at Lu Bu, who dodges it. The return of Thor's hammer is required since he needs it in order to activate the Gerard's hammer power. When he swings the hammer, a massive explosion erupts. All of the gods are astonished since Lu Bu should not be able to live, yet Lu Bu blocks his strike. Despite the fact that he blocks at this time, Lu Bu breaks his legs in the process since the human body can't sustain that much pressure, which is one of the reasons humans can't beat gods. All hope for mankind is gone at this point, and even Lu Bu believes his time has come, when suddenly Red Hair, Lu Bu's horse, emerges into the fight. He struggles due to his damaged legs but manages to climb onto the back of Red Hair. He approaches Thor with his ultimate and last technique, which he honed through decades of practice. The crowd cheers for Lu Bu as he launches his final strike, the Sky Piercer, while Thor throws the hammer with all his might. Ultimately, Lu Bu's might is unmatched against a god, and Thor is triumphant. Despite his setback, Lu Bu is pleased with the outcome since he finally confronted a worthy opponent. Following that, his army of followers charges onto the battlefield, pleading with Thor to finish them so they may rejoin with their master Lu Bu. Thor grants their requests, and they are all killed off by Thor's hammer, bringing mankind one step closer to extinction. Brunhild, the human delegate, chooses to summon the next human. This one's name has a special code next to it. In the second round, this will be the champion. Everyone knows who he is as soon as he comes. Throughout human history, he has been the most anti-god. Adam is mankind's one and only primordial ancestor. Zeus, the god of gods, is Adam's opponent. They didn't anticipate such a powerful god to compete in the second round because Adam's initial opponent was supposed to be the Indian god Shiva, but at the last second he was changed with Zeus, which concerned Brunhild. Adam then approaches the battlefield with confidence, unconcerned about who he is up against. Then Zeus arrives with a highly commanding aura and utilizes his strength to bulk up before the round begins. The seventh sister of the Valkyries, Rain Leaf, offers herself as Adam's weapon. They unite spirits, and the people are astounded when they see Adam's weapon, an iron fist capable of defeating the universe's oldest god. Zeus is the first to strike, throwing a lightning-fast punch at Adam, who just dodges it, infuriating Zeus. Then Zeus utilizes even more force and does the meteor jab method, but Adam easily dodges all of his assaults. However, Adam responds with the same techniques as Zeus. He accomplishes this by utilizing his particular talent known as the Lord's Eyes. The gods designed Adam to be a perfect image of themselves, so Adam can mimic the techniques used by the gods against him. So far, Adam is winning the fight by striking Zeus with his own tremendous blows. Zeus abruptly shifts his offensive strategy from striking to kicking. He uses the kick on Adam, but Adam dodges it again and uses it to knock down Zeus. Zeus becomes enraged and unleashes his ultimate assault. He learned how to freeze time completely from his father when he was a young god. We notice that everything comes to a halt. This is the almighty strength that transcends all time's laws. Yet to everyone's amazement, it was Zeus who was struck down. Everyone is stunned after witnessing the sight. Adam's heavenly reflection power is currently too powerful. Everyone thought Adam had won this round, and as everyone was celebrating, Zeus suddenly gets back up. But in anger, Zeus becomes serious, as this is the first time in millions of years that someone has forced Zeus to reveal his final form. This shape is restricted since he can only stay in it for 12 minutes. Zeus aggressively strikes, but Adam uses the Lord's Eye to duplicate him in this form and utilizes Zeus' strength to counterattack. It appears like Adam will prevail, but his eyes are becoming overheated as a result of utilizing the eye of the Lord's talent for too long. And for Zeus, every strike he makes while in this last form involves a great amount of energy. Thus Zeus is also struggling as his body reaches its maximum limits of endurance. The god Loki informs everyone that it is now a race against time to discover whose power will run out first. Adam's eyes are now completely blind after administering another blow. Zeus uses this chance to counterattack his strength. Adam attempts to protect himself because he can't see anything, and he gets a big strike from Zeus. While all of humankind is in despair, a voice reaches out to Adam, and the father of all mankind is still determined to protect all of his children at the last moment. Seeing Adam get back up and continue the battle in his state was a miracle. After another strike from Adam, Zeus collapses, but everyone notices that Adam is perfectly motionless. Everyone believed Adam had triumphed, but it turns out that he had already drawn his final breath when he went blind. However, even after his death, his soul continued to battle for his children. Zeus was declared the winner in the second round, leaving 2 humans and 2 Valkyries dead after 2 bouts. The third round must be won by mankind. Brunhild has just learned that the deity Poseidon will be their opponent in the third round. Poseidon is the ruler of the oceans and the brother of Zeus, and the most violent of the gods. Brunhild was struggling to choose the proper person for the third round when an old man steps in and declares that he would represent humanity. Sasaki Kajiro, often regarded as the biggest loser in history, is his name. Even after death, he continued his quest to become the best swordsman. Everyone is taken aback as Kajiro draws his blade. He attained the greatest degree of swordsmanship. He's unmatched when it comes to sword play. The contest has begun, but both players are still standing. Kajiro is carrying the heavenly sword Manohar, which was created by the Valkyrie Volund, the second sister of the Valkyries. Poseidon didn't even bother looking at Kajiro since he feels himself far superior to him. He even believes he is more powerful than all the other gods, including his brother Zeus. Nobody noticed what was going on after they stood for a while, save for a few of the gods. Kajiro had already been fighting Poseidon in his mind. He has already lost the fight in his head 18 times. This is one of Kajiro's 1000 images of defense tactics, which generates a virtual replica of his opponent in his head, allowing him to practice alternative attack patterns in preparation. Kajiro now understands that if he takes the initiative to fight first, Poseidon will swiftly kill him off. He is certain that no matter how he attacks, Poseidon will beat him. Despite his predictions, Kajiro decides to strike first. When slicing at 200 kilometers per hour, the sword cannot change direction due to the law of inertia. But Kajiro is different and employs a particular technique known as the Subamgishi. Poseidon stares into the human's eyes for the first time after he uses it. He approaches Kajiro and launches a barrage of strikes, but Kajiro deftly deflects them all in a second. He is able to do so because he is still employing the 1000 images of defense in his head, allowing him to see all of Poseidon's actions at this time. Poseidon attacks so quickly that Kajiro is unable to respond in time. Poseidon gets a smug expression on his face and asks, "What's wrong? I believe you could read your opponent's moves." Poseidon employs a unique strike against Kajiro. The gods are still taken aback by Kajiro's defenses though. They can't imagine an average human can get to the level of a god. All of Poseidon's assaults can be blocked by Kajiro at the speed of light. Kajiro immediately takes the initiative to counterattack, and after a quick sword swipe, he reverses his sword hand. It is a hidden technique, but in the face of Poseidon's enormous might, it is completely useless. Poseidon shatters the sword in half, and humanity loses all hope. We next get a fleeting flashback of Kajiro battling his most recent opponent, Musashi Miyamoto, a renowned swordsman. He recalls the excitement of practicing beside him to become the #1 in the world. For the first time in his life, he strove for victory following this. He stands with his shattered blade and utilizes the Valkyrie weapon regeneration talent, which grants him 2 swords. With the new blades in hand, he strikes Poseidon with full force, employing all he learned from the renowned swordsmen of his day, and kills Poseidon. This is the first time a sea god has been murdered by a mortal. The end. Thanks for watching, and make sure to get to see the complete series called Record of Ragnarok to see the ultimate conclusion.